So at this point, you're probably done with the exam syllabus and you're starting to practice on past papers in an effort to consolidate what you've covered in the syllabus and prepare for the exam. So here are a few tips for you that will help you in your exam preparation and help increase your chances of passing the exam. So, first, for the ACCA Performance Management exam, cover the entire syllabus. Okay, this is one of those exams where they're very good at testing from all parts of the syllabus, so don't leave anything out, please. Don't think that there'll be certain topics covered in the exam and certain will be left out. No, it's very unlikely for that to happen. I remember a case of a student that I had, and I told her to make sure to cover variances because that was one topic she was weak in, and that would help her pass in the exam. Turns out she didn't cover variances properly, hoping that she wouldn't get a question, and she got a question in section C for 20 marks for variances, and she ended up failing, getting 49 marks, right, failing by 1 mark. Had she covered variances, had she not banked on the fact that maybe it won't get covered in the exam, then she would have passed, right? So please make sure to cover the entire syllabus. Practice as many past paper questions on your own as possible. It's a simple rule of thumb for any exam. The more past paper questions you do, the better your chances of passing. There's no such thing or no such preparation that will guarantee that you pass an exam. But if you practice as many past paper questions on your own as possible, then your chances will increase the more you do so, okay? And what do I mean by on your own? Some students have an issue that when they sit to practice past paper questions, they look at the question, then they look at the answer, go through the answer, yeah, it makes sense. So now they think they're able to solve the question. No, the answer will always make sense because it's the answer. It's supposed to make sense. What I mean is you need to take a past paper question, you need to sit down and you need to try to answer it yourself, right? Without looking at the answer that ACCA has provided. Once you've attempted the question fully, then compare your answer to the actual answer. This will enable you to see which concepts you actually understand and which ones you don't understand. It will enable you to see that where you face difficulty in solving questions, and then you can work on these issues as you solve more and more questions, and by the time you get to the exam you'll be well prepared to attempt the questions from the get-go. Okay? Practice under timed conditions. Another issue is that students, when they do past paper questions, they don't really time themselves. So they are able to solve the questions, but when they get to the exam and under time pressure, they run out of time without having solved all the exam questions. So practice yourself under timed conditions and try to get your time as low as possible. Rule of thumb is 1 mark should take up till 1.8 minutes, right? So that should give you a rough idea about how much time you should spend on each question. Each MCQ is for 2 marks, so you have around 3.6 minutes per MCQ. That being said, some MCQs will take less time, like theory-based MCQs, and some MCQs will take more time, like calculation-based MCQs. But that's the general rule of thumb. On average, across all your questions, you should be taking that much time, okay? Work on topics and areas that you find difficult. Do not avoid difficult areas and topics. Focus on them and make sure you have a proper grasp on them, right? Like I said, the entire syllabus can be tested. So don't leave yourself in a position where you're very weak in a certain topic and you end up getting that for a 20 marker in section C, okay? And get comfortable with performing analysis. What do we mean by analysis? When they ask you for a reason, why was the variance favorable, right? Why was the profit margin good? You shouldn't be just stating the obvious. It's good or the variance is favorable. You need to give a reason based on the case scenario. What caused the variance to be good or what caused the profit margin to be good, okay? A lot of students aren't comfortable with performing analysis initially in the early ACCA exams because they're just used to MCQs, right? But the issue is that analysis is going to be the focus moving forward, especially when you get to your professional level papers. So make sure you get comfortable and practice analysis as much as possible. It's not difficult at all. You do it all the time in real life. You just need to apply those same critical analysis skills to the exam. And once you practice enough, believe me, you'll find it very easy to do and you'll be able to score those critical marks. Okay? So hopefully these tips will help you have a more holistic preparation towards the exam. And I wish you guys all the best for the upcoming exams.